You miss him terribly, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still processing. It's going to be processed for a long time.
Yeah.
Hasn't even been a year yet.
It was so unexpected.
It was. It happened rather suddenly. I mean, there had been some health problems for a while, but we thought they were under control. It just happened quickly.
The Eagles soared through the music scene of the 1970s, leaving an indelible mark on American rock. At the heart of this legendary band were Don Henley and Glenn Frey, two young dreamers who found each other in the vibrant Echo Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. Glenn Frey once reminisced about those early days.
I lived above Jackson, that is correct. J.D. Souther and I lived in a small apartment. Jackson lived in a smaller apartment.
Was this on the West Coast?
No, in Echo Park.
Oh, okay. But did you guys know, like Jackson Browne was a big deal?
Yeah, he was further along than any of us at that point.
It was in this crucible of creativity that the Eagles were born. Frey and Henley's partnership would go on to produce some of the most iconic songs in rock history. Their rise to fame was meteoric, but not without its challenges. Don Henley reflected on the pressures of success.
Well, it was scary. Sometimes success can be just as frightening, if not more frightening, than failure.
Why is that?
Because then there's the pressure on you to repeat it, to stay there. Not all that difficult to get to the top of the mountain. It's just hard to stay there.
As the band's popularity grew, so did the pressures. The Eagles became known not just for their music, but also for their wild lifestyle on the road. Glenn Frey once humorously recounted their hotel room antics.
We used to wreck hotel rooms, in the early days, but nothing like the English bands can do, nothing like the Who and Led Zeppelin. They were really the best at room trash, is what we used to call the art of room trash.
Now, what would you guys do? And then let's find out. I mean, how did you escape? Did you get arrested for it, or what happens?
Well,
pick a city. Let's just do this. Pick a city.
Atlanta.
All right. Now, you're in a hotel.
Yeah.
A nice hotel.
Yeah.
All right. What happens?
Things happen like, we never really wanted to wreck a hotel room or anything. It was like days and days of this building up. One day you get a cold breakfast, the next day room service is not there. About 14 days on the road, all of a sudden it's like one hotel is going to get all the grief.
Yeah.
But beneath the surface of rock and roll excess, there was always the music. Frey and Henley's songwriting partnership produced hit after hit, each one capturing a piece of the American experience. Their magnum opus, Hotel California, became an anthem for a generation. Henley explained the deeper meaning behind the song.
It's about the American dream and the dark underside of the American dream. The American dream can sometimes turn into the American nightmare. There's a price to pay for success. There's a price to pay for fame. There's a price to pay for wealth.
There were voices down the corridor. Thought I heard them say, "Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place, such a lovely place, such a lovely face."
We just used California as a metaphor for America. We were getting a lot of flack from the critics. Again, it was that mindset that once, if you're successful, you must have sold out somehow.
The success of Hotel California was staggering, as Frey once noted.
Well, no, I mean, like that Hotel
sorts.
California, 11 million copies.
I think that was in the U.S. I actually think it probably sold more, closer to 18 million.
Yeah, now that's
worldwide.
That,
But after 10 million, who's counting,
That's right.
Despite their success, or perhaps because of it, tensions within the band grew. In 1980, the Eagles decided to call it quits. Frey later explained,
Well, I think we unplugged it in 1980, but we didn't tell anybody till 1981. We wanted to get a start on our solo albums, So we just
was it a pleasant experience, the breakup? Was it nasty?
Yeah, it was ugly, David.
Oh, it was ugly.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Frey elaborated on the reasons behind the breakup.
9 years,
Yeah.
and with five guys for 9 years. I kind of look at bands like, it's like when doctors get out of college or lawyers get out of college, they always join a law firm or a doctor's, and bands are the same way, I think, for men in their 20s. You kind of band together, you're not so sure of yourself. And You know, now that we're a little older, it seems like a logical progression to sort of set up my own practice.
For 14 years, the Eagles remained apart, but the music they created together never faded from public consciousness. In 1994, against all odds, they reunited. Frey reflected on this long journey.
Well, you know, if you saw the documentary,
I did.
You know, there were a lot of factors that, you know, sort of had to pile up before ultimately it was just sort of, we were done. I've often said, you know, we should have taken a vacation, not a 14-year vacation. We should have taken a 1 or 2 year vacation like the Stones would do or something and then come back and work. But we didn't know that at the time. Now, you know, we've been back together for, 21 years. We got back together in '94. It's now 2015.
The reunion brought new life to the band, allowing them to reach a whole new generation of fans. Life on the road had changed for the band. When asked about the differences, Frey humorously replied,
We sleep.
It's
pretty simple.
Do you ever wonder how you made it out alive?
I always made it out. Here's my theory. I love music more than I loved anything else. I love music more than I love partying. And I think that was always in the back of my mind. You know, we were functioning party animals. You know, we never missed work. You know, we always showed up in relatively good shape.
How great.
but in 2016, tragedy struck. Glenn Frey, the voice behind so many of the Eagles' hits, passed away unexpectedly. For Don Henley, the loss of his longtime friend and musical partner was devastating. The man who had stood beside him through the highs and lows of rock stardom was gone. In the wake of Frey's passing, Henley reflected on their partnership and the impact Glenn had on his songwriting.
I would think for you, being such an excellent songwriter, was it hard for you to write with the other guys? Because when you're in the Eagles, you have your own ideas about a song. How does that work?
No, he encouraged me and he pushed me to the front and he said, you're going to sing this song and you're going to sing that song because you got the right voice to sing it.
Henley went on to share a poignant memory of how Frey had encouraged him in the early days of their collaboration.
And I sat down with Glenn and I said, I've got this piece of this song that I've been carrying around with me for all these years, and I want to show it to you. I said, you know, I sort of want it to be in the style of Ray Charles when he did that album called Modern Sounds in Country and Western Music.
Right.
I said, that's whose voice I hear in my head when I play this. And I showed it to him, and he said, this is really good, man.
These words serve as a poignant reminder of their deep musical connection and mutual respect. Even in their solo careers, the admiration remained. Frey once praised Henley's talents.
I loved One of These Nights.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really interesting song. I thought it was kind of cowboy R&B, you know, fuzz tones instead of saxophones. You know, great soul singer Don Henley. You know, cool chord progression, mine. And you know, that was one of my absolute favorite Eagles records.
The loss of Glenn Frey left a void not just in the music world, but in the lives of those who knew him best. Don Henley's words capture the depth of this loss and the ongoing process of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, still processing. It's going to be processed for a long time.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been a year yet.
It was so unexpected.
It was. It happened rather suddenly. I mean, there had been some health problems for a while, but we thought they were under control. It just happened quickly.
The Eagles' story is one of friendship, creativity, and the enduring power of music. Though Glenn Frey may be gone, the legacy he and Don Henley created together lives on, touching the hearts of millions worldwide. Their journey from a small apartment in Echo Park to the pinnacle of rock stardom exemplifies the magic that happens when great talents unite. As fans continue to sing along to their timeless hits, the spirit of Glenn Frey and the Eagles' music will forever remain in the fabric of American culture. What's your favorite Eagles song and why does it resonate with you? Share your thoughts in the comments below.